What's up, ladies and gents? Your boy Matt here. It's back to the Matt. Late Monday night, so let's go and do a Monday night recap review. Try to keep it within 30 minutes or so. Tried doing some Battlegrounds real quick, but my game crashed, so I'll have to update it later. Excuse me. Yeah, so night 2 for the drafts. Underway, kaput, basically. I'll go over the results of the draft as well, but we'll go ahead and recap Raw first, and then we'll do the results. So Raw was Raw. So my source, I got right there to the right of me. Sorry, I'm an idiot. So, but to the right of me is obviously WWE.com. So if you guys want to follow along with me there, you can, or if you want to go look for your own, you can there as well. So let's go and just pull it up and see what happens. I don't care about watching the highlights. Didn't want the highlights. No. Those. Yeah, one sec. There we go. Much better. Alright, so let's see here. There, raw highlights. That's what I was looking for. It's still video content. I want the don't want the videos. Alright, so we'll just bring up the draft results and I'll tell you guys what happened as it happened. So as you can tell right there, it shows Asuka, and they had a battle royal to decide who will face Asuka next week on Raw to start the new season of Monday Night Raw, as well as SmackDown on Friday has Braun versus Roman for the title to start the new season of SmackDown. So, and the show kicked off with Randy Orton coming out, hyping up the match between him and Drew McIntyre at Hell in a Cell. So it'll be Randy versus Drew. Randy was just saying that since he picked up the victory last week in the 6-man tag where he pinned Drew, which was the first time Drew's been pinned inside the WWE ring since after the Royal Rumble, almost a whole year, basically. So, and we'll do our predictions next week, like I normally do, so keep that in mind. After that, Drew came out and said, basically, again, they're just hyping their match. He said he's here to fight. So he just ran down to the ring, started fighting. Went for a Claymore. Orton rolled out of the ring and then went to the back. And then they showed Drew in the ring, and he's like, "We got a 3-hour show. By the end of the night, I am going to kick your ass," is basically what he stated. So we got the commercial. Come back, do the first part of the draft, which I'll go into details after the recap. And then after that, Miz and Morrison are now on Raw, so they did an episode of Miz TV with Mandy Rose and Deville. Miz was telling Mandy how he did it on her behalf, so he deserves a thank you. Mandy said, "No, you just did it to get me away from Otis." And then Dana jumped in and yada yada yada. Basically ended where they were talking about them being a tag team and how the women battle royal was tonight. If one's going to turn on each other, same old still. That didn't happen. They said what was it? Mandy Rose said, May the best woman win," and Dana Brooke agreed, which brought out Natalya and Lana. Brawl breaks out, cuts commercial, come back from commercial. Miz and Morrison still in the ring. So Miz said, on to plan B, which is his guest, John Morrison, just to fill time. They're talking a little bit, and then Lars Sullivan shows up. He goes to fight them. Miz gets out of the ring. Morrison had a little flurry of offense, not much, and then Lars just beat the crap out of Morrison. And then had a stare down with the Miz. So who knows where that's leading? And I want to say after that we cut backstage where it shows Street Profits and the New Day. They're both Street Profits are Raw Tag Team Champions. They are now over on SmackDown. New Day is SmackDown Champions. They're now over on Raw. Yeah, Adam Pearce in the middle told him that he had powers where they're going to just exchange titles instead of fighting for the titles. They're just going to exchange titles. So they did that. Dolph and Robert Roode showed up, and they challenged the Raw Tag Team Champions, who are now the New Day, to tag team title match tonight on Raw. See how that goes. And that was later down the road. Next up, we had okay, so that's all the draft stuff. So don't worry about that. Why haven't they updated this yet? Really weird. Yeah, let me go ahead and go somewhere else real quick. Because I can't remember what happened after that. I want to say I might have done the Angel Garza and Andrade match. Let's see. There you go. This will have it, and then I'll go to the draft board. So there we go. Let's see. Oh, right, sorry. So I totally forgot about Aleister Black versus Drew McIntyre. Or Aleister Black versus KO in a no DQ match. I knew I was missing a match. That match was about the good 30 minutes. Owens ended up getting a win with the powerbomb through the table. Pretty good spots here and there, so, you know, take that. Yep, STV, or talk about that. So that was what I missed. So then we have, right, so then Seth comes out to the ring. He's basically giving his farewell to Monday Night Raw. Basically, he was giving his farewell to Monday Night Raw, and then Jeff Hardy came out and interrupted him, and Seth said, "Hey, get out of my ring!" And spoiler alert, Jeff Hardy got drafted over to Raw, so he said, "Well, I'm on Raw now, so isn't this technically my ring?" Which led to Phenomenal One showing up on the Titantron, talking shit, saying that he's now on Raw too, so that's his ring. Words got explained, and then Seth and AJ were at the ringside area talking. Jeff threw himself over to take them both out, only took out Seth. AJ moved. Jeff got back in the ring, picked up the microphone, challenged them to, he said, a triple threat tag team match, but he meant triple threat match because he's used to being in a tag team match, so that just made more sense for him, I guess. Or he messed up his line. He said triple threat tag team just because he's so used to being in tag team matches. So yeah. So cut to commercial. We come back. Match is underway. Match was going good. Let's see. Seth kicked out of a swanton. They both kicked out of Whisper. So Jeff hit a double Whisper in the win on both AJ and Seth. Later down the line, AJ had Seth in the calf crusher, and then Jeff was climbing the top rope. He ends up doing the swanton, but AJ released the calf crusher and then pushed Jeff out of the ring. He pins Seth kicks out of the Swanton, and then somebody did something to Seth. He rolled out of the ring, and then I think AJ went for a Styles Clash. Jeff reversed it. Let's see. Oh, Hardy hit it. Okay, so Seth just rolled out of the ring. Yeah, Seth just rolled out of the ring. AJ went to hit Jeff. Jeff hit the kick and then Twist of Fate. And then out of nowhere gets hit in the back with a guitar. Elias is back, ladies and gentlemen. So Elias hit him with a guitar. AJ just looked shocked, pinned Hardy. AJ got the win. Got to commercial again. We come out. Now we have a match earlier that became official. That happened during the dirt sheet. We have Lana and Natalya taking on Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. Kind of a short match. Mandy and Dana Brooke obviously won because they're not doing anything with Lana and Natalya right now. After the match, Natalya tells Lana this isn't working out, and they're splitting up basically. Then we see Ricochet. We see Hurt Business backstage talking amongst themselves. Ricochet shows up and says, "One more." And MVP's like, "What?" He's like, "One more. Give me one more. Let me explain. One more match. If I win, you guys leave me alone. If I lose, I'll join the Hurt Business." He's like, "I don't know what's going on with the drafts. I'm on Raw. Apollo might get drafted over to SmackDown. I don't know. But I need to know. I got to make my stand. With Ali being in Retribution and all this, I need to make my stand." So MVP and then talk about it. And he's like, "Okay, so if you win, will you be able to be? If Cedric wins, you're in the Hurt Business." Shake on it. Go to commercial. They come back. Angel Garza's in the ring. Well, he was doing his entrance when they went to commercial. Come back. Angel Garza's in the ring. Andrade shows up, and then Zelina Vega's at ringside. Match was actually pretty good. It was back and forth for the most part. A couple nasty spots though. Freaking Andrade, when he hit the apron, it looked like he busted his nose. But it was actually pretty good. Zelina on commentary saying that the reason that the tag team split up was because of their egos, and that's why she's not managing them anymore. Byron mentioned something about Alexa Bliss because of the Battle Royal later on in the night, which she said, "Who cares?" Basically is what I got out of it. After Garza hit that nasty spot on Andrade outside the ring, rolls him back in the ring, hits the wing clipper, got the 3 count. After the match, Zelina went in to check on Andrade. Power goes out. You hear the Fiend's entrance. Power comes back on. Fiend and Alexa Bliss are in the ring. They both have Andrade and Zelina Vega in the Sister Abigail position. And boom. It's Sister Abigail on both of them. Then they both just do the thing that the Fiend does in the turnbuckle where he's like this. So they do that, and then they cut the commercial. And then when we came back from commercial, another draft picks. And then after that, we had our tag team championship match. They cut the commercial first, and then we come back to the match. Match was back and forth. Really good match. Rude had a nice spine buster. Woods looked a little slower than he did on Friday, but he's getting back in the groove of things, so he'll pick it up. Obviously, Kofi and Woods won the match. I'll tell you that. And yeah, other than that, to me, it was good. It was a good tag team match for what it was. Give Dolph and Rude the titles already, please. They're good. They are good. So just stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. We go backstage. Elias is walking around with his broken guitar, and Caruso is talking to him, asking why he jumped Jeff, and he said, I remember what Jeff did to me. He hit me with a car. He ran me over. He's making a basically kind of putting himself over like he normally does. And he's like, as much as the good Lord upstairs wants me to be there so he can enjoy my concerts for him, the car ain't gonna stop me. And then they announces next week he's gonna do a live concert. It'll be good for everybody, especially Jeff Hardy. So the Elias Jeff Hardy feud is coming up. Let's see. Her Business came out. They do a video recap of Mustafa Ali joining the Hurt Business, which was just MVP has been fantastic during this whole shit. Let's be real. And you can say I'm taking that from other people. I don't freaking care. He's been great. A lot of these guys who are there just busting their ass, doing their thing, they've been great. I'll be honest. There's a few of them who I could, but for the most part, they're all doing great. So Cedric with Hurt Business versus Ricochet on his own. Freaking fantastic match between the two of them. I will admit that. I mean, Cedric, in my opinion, is great. Go watch him versus Kota Ibushi from the Cruiserweight Classic. Banger match. 5 stars, hands down. I don't care who you are. If you say that match is shit, get out of here. That match is great. Just look it up on YouTube, look it up anywhere. Just watch it in its entirety. That and Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream when they had their match at NXT TakeOver. Those two are two of my most recent favorite matches. It's been a few years, but they are still freaking good. Let's go watch that. Yeah, during the match, a lot of good kicks from both these guys. Not very many good high spots, but I mean they're both high flyers, so. But Cedric was showing a little bit more heelish attitude in this match. So, what was it? Cedric he didn't hit the lumbar check, but he hit a good move on Ricochet. Goes for the 3 count. Ricochet kicks out at 2, but kicked out with a little bit of authority, so Cedric bumped into the ref, so the ref, like, selling his leg. Like, oh, I hurt my leg, so he's doing a ref bump, basically. He's laying down, like, slowly getting up. MVP grabs a chair, slides it in. Well, he slid it in. Freaking Ricochet puts his hands on it. And then Hurt Business get up on the apron. And the ref slowly getting up, and Ricochet's looking like, okay. Looks at the ref. Sees the ref getting up, and he just, like smirks. I called it from a mile away. I'm like, he's going to Eddie Guerrero this, isn't he? And sure enough, he's like, all right. Goes to swing. Cedric ducks, but he whacks it on the mat to make the sound, tosses the chair, and then does like the worst soap opera feint ever. He's like, and goes down, and then starts hitting his knees on the mat to sell it pretty damn well. Which I just laughed. The ref saw it, rang the bell, DQ, Ricochet wins. Her Business jumps in the ring to try to get him. Ricochet runs up the ramp, just laughing his ass off. MVP sat down. MVP looked pissed, but his pissed off look looked more like, you son of a. Should have saw that coming. But we didn't. Next up, our main event, which is the Women Battle Royal. Before that happened, Nia Jax got on the mic and was saying that her and Shayna were going to win. Obviously, that's not going to happen. Pretty decent, I guess, for what it was. So we'll just skip down to it. Your last 3 people were, I want to say it was, okay, your last 5 was Bianca, Riot Squad, Lacey Evans, and Natalya. Riot Squad knocked out Bianca, and then Evans and Natalya knocked out the Riot Squad, and then they were doing the back and forth on the ropes between Natalya and Lacey Evans. Natalya ended up getting Lacey eliminated by doing the basically powerbomb swing into the ring post. Lacey's out. You think Natalya won, which would have been cool. I'd been okay with that. But then she gets attacked from behind. She loses. Your winner is Lana. Due to Lana got thrown out earlier and then got Samoans dropped through the table, because that's what Nia Jax has been doing, or yeah, Nia Jax's been doing to her the whole damn time. So, you know, and then Lana wins the match, and then which is weird. So we'll see what's going on there. And then, excuse me, with Lana winning, she gets a shot at Asuka next week. I doubt she'll win, but we'll see what happens. And then Drew and Randy Orton, they were brawling backstage before the match, and then they made it to ringside, just going back and forth. Officials, so Pat Buck, Adam Pearce, looked like Fit Finley, but I don't know if it was Fit Finley. Jamie Noble, Devon, and a bunch of reps came out to split them up. They got him, and then Drew said, "Next week, Randy, I'm kicking your ass." Went off the air. They went over to do the Raw talk, and yeah. So there's your Raw recap in about 20 minutes or so. So there's Raw review for you. Again, I wish I had somebody else who watched it with me so I could talk more about it, but there you have it. I didn't take any notes. I don't need to. I mean, I could start. Who knows? But overall, it wasn't a terrible show. Could do better stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here, and then I'll go ahead and do my draft results in a short little 10-minute, basically a 10-minute video. So with that being said, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be back. I'll try to do Wednesday NXT, and Thursday I may eventually be back at Battlegrounds. So we'll do that and have AEW on the background. Or I'll just flip the switch and we'll just play Battlegrounds and stay focused on that for once. So we'll see what happens. But thanks guys, and I will talk to you later.